Um, if you're new to this, so I did this meeting in September where I did abs and ab exercises and introduced some Qigong breathing. And today I'm going to do some neck and shoulder exercises. So if you missed the September sessions, there's a video on the FSHD Society blog. You can reference that video if you want to go back and watch that over again. So what I'm going to do is if we can in the chat, everybody on the bottom of your screen is the chat. If you can, just put in if you're returning, if you've been here before, if you're returning, type return, and if you're new, just put in your new so we get a kind of a feel for who's who here. I can kind of gauge how much detail I need to throw out at you. I will stop for questions along the way, so if you can avoid interrupting, that would be great. Real quick, what I'm going to do today is talk a little bit about myself and how I got here. I'm going to do the neck and shoulder exercises first, because some people might have to leave early. I know people with time zones, you're eating dinner, you're having lunch, you're just getting out of bed. So you may have to leave early, so I'll do the new stuff first, and then I'll circle back and go over again the sessions, the information that I did back in September, and then we can do, again, questions along the way. So anyway, let me do a little housekeeping. Again, I mentioned the blog, so if you want to go back and look at that blog, maybe June can put the URL up in the chat if she has a second to do that. A disclaimer for this is I am not a medical person. I am not I'm sharing exercises. The idea of this group is to share. So if you're iffy about doing any of these, then, you're welcome to follow along and then perhaps consult a doctor or your PT or an advisor to see if they're good for you to do or not. And also, if you want, I will prepare a handout. I'm looking at a PowerPoint to keep myself on track here. So I'll put together a handout, and if you want a copy of that, you can just put your email in the chat, and we'll get that to you also, okay? So that's that. So real quick about me, I've been practicing martial arts for about 30 years. I started doing Kung Fu, and then I fell into doing Qigong, which I really enjoyed, and I felt that was helping me in my fight against FSH. So I went and I joined the National Qigong Association, and I went through some trainings there and got my certification. So I am certified to do that, and I do teaching. I do seminars like I'm doing today. I do speaking engagements and stuff, through the society. My FSHD story, if you have heard it already, you can tune me out for 30 seconds. So I started to notice the FSH when I was I started to notice something was wrong when I was about 18. I started in my left shoulder. I had the winging. As I got older, it went into my right shoulder, and as I got a little older, it went into my left leg. So I've got a foot drop in my left leg. In 2012, 2014, I went to Johns Hopkins, and I was diagnosed formally. I did the genetic test, and I was diagnosed formally with the FSHD. In June of, I think it was June, springtime of 19, I stumbled across the FSHD Society. And at the time I was looking at the website, the Philadelphia group was just having a meeting that weekend. So I went up there and I met Bill, who's on the call here today. Hello, Bill, and his group. And that's how I got introduced to the FSHD Society. I moved to South Carolina that June, and there was no FSHD Society here. The closest chapters were in Atlanta or up in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I got in touch with Beth, and we worked out a deal, and I talked to a few other folks at the society, and I launched in South Carolina chapter back in 2019, 2020. We actually launched in February 2020, right on the tip of COVID. So we had one meeting, and then we were forced to go virtual because of COVID. I also have a Facebook page. I called it Qigong for FSHD, and I post videos of various exercises on that. So that's me in a minute. Any questions before I start? No? Okay. So just circling back, and one more thing about me, why I do this, why I practice Kung Fu, why I do Qigong, why I exercise at all, is because in my mind, it's my way to fight back against FSH. I'm a big person, big visualizer, and in some of the exercises later, we'll talk about visualization. And it's just my way of my personal way to feel like I'm fighting back against the challenges that FSHD brings. I try to do these exercises daily. I treat it as a level set. Some days you wake up, we all know this, you're ready to go. Some days the bed doesn't want to let you go. So it's able for me to do mentally at least do a level set so I can get through the day. A couple other things about Qigong. I don't get sick. And if I do get sick, it's usually a little sniffle, which I attribute to allergies when we have the seasonal changes. When I did go to Johns Hopkins and I met the neurologist there for the first time, I mentioned to him that I do these practices. And at the end of the exam, he said to me, you should not stop or don't stop what you're doing because, whatever it is, it's working. He sees a big difference in the shape I'm in versus the shape other patients that he sees was in. At one point, a couple of years after that, I was waking up with headaches, and in the conversation with the doctor, he said to me, are you having headaches when you wake up? And I said, yeah. So he thought the FSH was affecting my diaphragm. So I went back to my Qigong teacher, and we did some extra diaphragm exercises, and the headaches went away. So last thing is, like I said, with the breathing, and that's probably the biggest thing that I find helps me is the breathing, because it just keeps everything moving. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Frank, can I ask a real quick question?
Absolutely.
And that is, what is the difference between what the doctor noticed in you and other people that have FSH? Because I'm interested in what we could possibly achieve with these practices.
Well, we're all different, right? I mean, it's asymmetric. It might be your right side, my left side, your top, my bottom. So, but what he made, I guess, a generalized statement that, I'm 55 years old, I'm this weight, I'm this height, I can do these kind of things, and comparing me to other people who are physically the same. And let me say something else is I fortunately have what I consider a mild case of FSH compared to how it's affecting others. So given all those things I just mentioned, my age, my physical condition, and the severity of the FSH, he felt that I was in better condition because of what I do. And the neurological tests that they do, where they you grab your arms, you lift your legs, you do all that stuff. So just going through, that was what he based that statement on. So if that kind of answers that question. I mean, I never really pressed him for detail, but that's what I'm making the assumptions on, is given the exam that we did, he made that statement to me. So, and maybe he just said it to keep me going, to motivate me. I honestly don't know, to be honest with you. So taking it with a grain of salt, but I think sincerely, I think that he was interested in it because he felt, like I said, overall, physically, I was in better condition, and I think it helps mentally too. I mean, I think there's three facets to a lot of this. It's the physical, mental, and the spiritual end of it. That you've got to you wake up in the morning, like I said, sometimes, and you don't want to do anything because your back hurts, your leg hurts, your arm hurts, your shoulder hurts, your neck hurts. So, something hurts, you don't feel good, you have no energy, blah, 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 blah. So, like I said, that's why I kind of do this to get myself up. At least I'm up, I always say to people, how you doing? I'm up and I'm breathing, so that's a good start in the morning some days, right? Does that answer your question, Greg? Thanks for asking.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Great. Okay. All right, great. Anyone else before I get going? Okay, so I'm going to start with the new stuff, and then I'll circle back and do the stuff, like I said, the stuff that we did in September. So these are some of the routines, and it's not everything because that would consume a lot of time. But these are a couple of the exercises I do in the morning to loosen up neck and shoulders. You wake up with a sore neck, our shoulders are sore a lot of times. So this is just what I do. I've been doing them on and off for a while. I try to do them every day, but sometimes I don't because I'm distracted into doing something else. And also, like the exercises that we did in September, just FYI, you can do these standing or you can do them seated. So I'm going to do them seated because that's, I think that working in that plane is good for everybody. I don't know if everybody's able to stand. So I'll work in it from a seated position. I'm going to just change chairs. So bear with me for 1 second. So what I do is, again, if you haven't been here before, I'm sitting in a chair that's kind of the pub height chair. And let me just adjust my camera a little bit and move back a little bit. So I'm able to get in and out of this chair easier than I am sitting in a lower chair. So anybody can see me okay? Any thumbs up? All right, good. So anyway, let's start with a simple exercise. So I'm sitting, and if you, again, weren't in the other session, sitting has a whole litany of steps to it, which I'll try to summarize real quick today. So I'm sitting on the edge of the chair. I'm not sitting all the way back. If you need to sit all the way back in the chair for stability, please do so. I also have no sides on this chair. If you need to have a chair with sides on it, that's great because I have a tendency to whack my elbows on the sides of the chair. So that's not fun. Feet are flat on the floor. All right, and that's all we need to do for this set of exercises. So hands at your sides, hanging down on the floor, fingers pointing at the floor. And we're going to do a simple shrug. Okay, so we're going to shrug up, and we're going to shrug down. All right, and let's do a few of these. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Two more. Up, down, up, down. And one more. I like to do things in threes and down. So just FYI, there's a little tag in the announcement for this about weights. So if you're comfortable doing that, you might want to start, doing them with a 1 pound weight or a 2 pound weight and start working your way up. If you want to try to do that, get little dumbbells. I like to use the weights that strap to your wrists. I have ones that kind of fit on like a glove. That way I can still have my fingers. I'm not having actually grasp something all the time. So you're able to do that. That's great. Sorry, I got a call coming in here. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, hands at sides. First one was a shrug. Second one, we're going to shrug up and we're going to roll our shoulders back. We're going to shrug up and roll to the back. Up and roll to the back. Up, roll to the back. Up, back. Up, back. Up, back, up, and back. So you want to come straight up And then let your shoulders roll back down to a relaxed spot again. Up, roll back, a few more, up, roll back, up, back. Last one, up and back. Okay, can anyone guess what the next one is? Okay, we're going to shrug up and we're going to roll our shoulders to the front. Okay, up and roll to the front, up, roll to the front. You should feel that one in the back here. This one you should definitely feel right in the center of your back after about 6. So up and roll, up and roll, up, roll, up, roll, up, roll, up, roll, up, roll. A few more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we did like 10 each. You could do 3 sets of 10 each. You could do 30 if you have the, play with the sequences. Don't bore yourself by doing the same thing all the time. And after we did the neck exercises, we'll do a little mix and match, and you can see how you can kind of play with this stuff. So those are the first 3. So can anyone guess what the next one? No? Okay. Nobody knows. We're going to alternate. So I'm going to mirror you. So start with your left, up, right, left, right, left, right. Actually, I'm not mirroring you. Right, left, right. Now I am. Left, right, left, right. Now I'm just going straight up. Okay. Straight up, straight down. And if you feel the snap, crackle, pop, I don't know if you're hearing that or not. I am, from my bones cracking. Okay, so now roll back, roll to the back, roll to the back, roll to the back, and then roll to the front, roll to the front, and roll to the front, and roll to the front. One more, roll to the front. Now, the last one that's not on my sheet, but I'll show it to you anyway, is to shrug straight up and hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Relax. Straight up. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And relax. Now straight up. Now bring it up a little more and roll to the back. 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 So you're keeping tension in that shrug and rolling back. And now roll to the front, 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 and then straight up and down. Last one, straight up and down. So, how's that feel? June's got all the kinks out of her neck there. Okay, questions on the neck exercises? Anyone? The floor is yours. Feel free to unmute and we can talk about it a little bit if you need to. No, everybody's good? All right. You're all gluttons for punishment today. Okay. Here we go. Let me move my thing up. All right, the neck. Everybody ready for the neck? And again, if your neck is bothering you, either do them real slight or just watch and check with your doctor or whatever, and then try to do some. But these are, again, sitting, feet on the floor. Looking straight ahead is the best way to do these neck exercises. Can everybody see me okay? Kind of feel like I wish I could do this a long ways instead of this way. But anyway, okay. So for these, there's a sequence. We're going to go side to side. We're going to go shoulder to shoulder, and then we're going to go up and down. All right, so it's pretty straightforward, 3 directions. We'll get the neck moving here. So the side to side one, we're going to start out, this is 0, all right, or this is 12, whatever, back to center, we'll call that the center. So we're going to look to the right, And we're going to look as far as we possibly can until you get a little tension in your neck. And then we're going to come back to center. And then we're going to go to the other side. As far as you possibly can, you feel tension in your neck, and then come back to center. Let's do it again. All the way to the side. And back to center. And all the way to the other side. And back to center. Okay, to give you something else to focus on, your eyes are looking straight ahead while you're doing this. So as you're turning your head, your eyes are still looking straight ahead. Don't turn, listen to what I'm saying. And then when you get all the way to the side, as far as you can't go any further, let your eyes go all the way, continue to go all the way to that side. So you're looking as far back behind you as you possibly can. All right, so I call this leading with your eyes. All right, so we're going to go to this side. We're going to look all the way over, and then your eyes are going to continue and look back. Now, when you release, your eyes move first. Bring your eyes back to center, and then turn your head back to center. And then look all the way to the other side, and let your eyes continue around to the back. And then bring your eyes to center, and then bring your head all the way back to center. Okay, so it's an additional little eye, exercising your eye muscles while you're exercising your neck. So let's do a few of these. I'll move to the one side, come back to center, turn to the other side, eyes all the way behind, and come back to center. This is a frank variation of a Qigong exercise that's called the wise owl turns his head to cure 1,000 illnesses. Okay, that's the whole thing. There's more to it, but I'm just focusing on the neck portion for now, because everything goes through your neck, right? I mean, everything that happens down here comes from above, and everything travels through your neck. So you keep your neck healthy, you'll cure 1,000 illnesses. All right? Looking straight ahead, turn to the left. All the way, all the way, all the way. Your eyes are turned, looking all the way back. Tension in the neck. Turn back to center. And then turn to the right side. Again, I'm mirroring you. All the way back. Your eyes are looking back. Bring your eyes back to center. And bring your head back to center. Okay, so let's do a couple more. One. To center. Turn. Back to center. To the left. Back to center. To the right. Back to center. Two more. Left. Center. To the right. Center. Last one. To the left. Center. To the right. And back to center. Okay, so that's the first of these neck exercises. Questions? Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up. Okay.
I'm maybe a little dizzy to move my eyes like that. Is that
Just don't fall out of your chair.
okay? Good thing I'm
Okay.
sitting.
Yeah, there's a whole nother thing around the eye movement, but I had to have eye surgery, not because of that, but that exercise helps me recover from the eye surgery. So you normally don't exercise your eyes left and right. I do a whole nother set of exercises where I don't even move my head. I just move my eyes back and forth and then up and down. Just because I think it helps keep my eyes in shape. Okay, next one. Next one we're going to do is we're going to take our ear and we're going to touch our shoulder. Okay, don't bend your waist, don't lift your shoulder, just turn let the weight of your head pull your ear down to your shoulder, and come back up to center, and then go down to the other side. And just let your neck, your head, weight of your head, stretch out your neck. Feels like a nice stretch. Keep your chin up. Don't push your chin into your chest. Keep your chin out when you do these. So it's not this, it's this. Your chin is out. So your chin is moving in a plane like that. Okay, back to center, the other side. 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 We'll do a few more. Left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side. One more. Left side. And right side. Okay. How's that feel? Thumbs up? Good. Everybody still with me? Excellent. Okay, great. Any questions so far? All right. Okay. The next one is up and down. So what we're going to do is we're going to look down. You're going to stay, keep your torso straight. You're going to look down, push your chin into your chest on the way down. Again, let the weight of your head stretch out the muscles in the back of your neck. And then we're going to go up. We're not going to lean our head all the way back, to crimp the neck. We're going to push our head up and out like a turtle. I like to use this analogy, like a turtle who's looking out of a shell. We're going to take our chin and push our chin up and out. So your chin, so you're getting a stretch all in here, okay? And you're going to pull your upper lip up to create more tension, all right? So that's the exercise. So let's go down first, start from the center. Let's go down. And just, again, let your chin, push your chin into your chest. You should start to feel this stretching down your back when you get a little, if you don't now, if you get a little more limber, come back up to center. All right, and take a breath, because you might be holding your breath doing these. All right, so now push your chin out like the turtles looking out of the shell. Push your chin up and stretch all in here, all in your front of your neck. Push your chin out as far as you can, and then come back to center. Okay. And then look down. Let your head, the weight of your head, let the weight of your head do the work. Okay. And then come back to center. And then look up, stretch out, turtles reaching out to get some sun. All right. Or where I come from, the turtles are on the road, so he's looking whether there's a car coming or not. All right, back to center, down. And if you're putting down, push your chin into your chest and relax your shoulders. All right, so it's okay to round your back a little bit. Don't be rigid in the chair. And then back to center and up, stretch out. And back to center. How's that one feel? Thumbs up. Everybody, we good? Okay, excellent. Great. Okay. So now the last bunch here is, this is kind of a left-right exercise like we did earlier, but we're going to do them quickly. And we're not going to go to that full tense thing. We're just going to go shoulder to shoulder. Okay. So we'll start at center again. We'll go shoulder to shoulder, looking straight out. Okay. So let's just go shoulder to shoulder. And you can move as slow, as fast as you want. I like to do these at a relatively decent speed. Okay, now when you get to a point, look down and go side to side. Again, nice and loose in the neck. You don't want to create tension here, just to loosen everything up. Okay, and then come back up to center here, and then look up gently, not way where you're going to pinch the back of your neck. Just look up a little bit and go side to side. So I usually gauge as if when I'm turning my head, I start to hear crackling. And that's as high as I want to go when I'm hearing the crackling. All right. That's all my old bones rubbing against each other, I guess. All right. And back to center. So you can just keep going side to side and just moving your head up and down. I'm at center and we're going to look down. Keep going side to side. This one, your chin can rub against your chest if you can. All right. Back up to center. And pick up the pace a little bit. Don't go as far, just do it a little quicker. Look up, back to center, look down, back to center, keep going. Good, you guys got it. Okay, so that's all the exercises that I've got today for your neck and shoulder. So let's just mush a few of them together. Can you give me an idea of what I like to do in the morning? So I'll start out with some shrugs, and then I'll go right from shrugs into that turn head, okay, and then back to some more shrugs. So I'll do shrugs, neck, shrugs, neck, shrugs, neck. So I'll alternate back and forth because it's all kind of right in here. The shrugs are working these muscles here, and then the neck exercises are kind of working everything that's hinged off of that. So, so that's what I'll do with those. So if you want to, like I said, mix and match and have some fun with it. So it's not, oh, it's going to do my stupid neck. Up to you to just mix it up and have some fun with it because it can get boring going. And again, like I said, take some small dumbbells. Water bottles, some kind of weight to provide some extra resistance on doing those shrugs if you want. Some folks might have joined us a little late, so just FYI, if you're new to the group, type new in the chat. If you're returning, if you were in the September session we had, put return in the chat. If you want a copy of the handout from today's session, put your email in the chat and June will print that off for me and I'll get that to you, okay? Any questions on the neck and shoulder stuff? I'll open up the floor for questions. Everybody okay with those? The thumbs up? Okay, good. I'm glad. All right. Anybody having extreme difficulty with this? I guess that's I'm just trying to gauge, where we are in our folks' flexibility and stuff, because I don't want to overdo it and I don't want to underdo it. I'm trying to gauge where people are so I can give you something that's challenging but not going to, cause any major problems. So I'm just curious to know if you want to let me know that on the other side too. Some folks are reaching out. Sidebar. Again, if you want to reach me with some questions offline, there's an email. I think it's in the blog and it was in the announcement for this session on the FSHD Society's webpage. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions that you don't want to ask right now. All right.
I think I know the answer to this, but it's important to breathe.
Yes, breathing is very important. And actually, I was going to tie breathing in at the end.
Okay.
For instance, when you were doing the side to side, you can breathe in as you go to the side and then exhale as you're coming back, and then breathe in as you're going to the other side, and then exhale as you're coming back. So you could tie the diaphragm breathing that we did a couple of months ago into these exercises also. So you're doing that. And the other thing about this is, I think I have some place in here about timing. These you can do anywhere, anytime. You're at work, you can do it. You're at home watching TV, you can do it. You're sitting in the car at a red light, you can do it. So they're pretty simple exercises that you can do. Except for the turtle one. If you're in the car, people might think you're doing, like the turtle out the window, right? Somebody might think you're a little out of whack. So be careful with doing the turtle exercise in the car. And actually, that exercise is again a modification of an exercise, a Qigong exercise that I learned. It's called the golden turtle. So you actually are in a squatted position. It opens up your lower portion of your upper legs, and you use that to stretch out the head. So anyway, let me move forward to the breathing and the abdominal thing. Again, if you have any questions, just when I break, you're happy to ask. So this requires a little more. Actually, this doesn't. Let me do that. Let me come back to that slide. Okay. So in the September session, we focused on abdominal breathing and some abdominal exercises. Some basically some simple abdominal exercises. Excuse me. I'm getting. Okay. So in sitting, we'll get to sitting in a minute. Let me just push back a little bit. So. Again, we're in our chair. You can do these standing, or you could do them seated. We're going to do a little ab work, and then we will. How are we doing on time? Good. All right. I'm going to try to end 1:10 latest. Okay. Depending on questions. So we're going to sit in the chair. We're going to have our hands on our sides, dangling, and then all we're simply going to do is bend, lean to the one side. Try to keep your butt cheeks in the chair. No cheating. Don't lean your cheeks off. And we're going to come back to center, and we're going to lean off to the right side. And again, if you joined us late, what we're doing, if you're comfortable sitting on the edge of your chair, great. If you're not, you need the back for stability, please use it. And the sides of your chair, I don't have any, but if you need them because of your stability, that's great. And do not use a chair with free spinning wheels, okay? Because I don't want you to go one way in the chair, go the other, okay? So again, we're going to lean to one side as far as we can. I'm going to come back to the center, and we're going to lean to the other side. So this is stretching out the obliques muscles and the lower back muscles. Again, if you're comfortable doing them with nothing in your hands, feel free to add weight at any time to get a little better stretch. When I do these in the gym, I'm actually up to doing 60 pounds with these. So I do a 30-pound dumbbell in each hand. I'm able to, and that's my limit. Any more than that, I don't feel like I'm going to be. Will be lopsided. So we're going to go one side and up, other side and up. So you could go all the way down. I mean, you could try to touch the floor. If you're in a low chair, you probably can touch the floor. Again, I'm in a higher chair. I'm in a pub height chair. To the side and back up. And then, or you can just do these quickly, back and forth. You don't have to go as far down, but the speed gets you going a little better. Again, have some fun with it, right? Don't yell at me for being boring. All right, let's do a couple more. Stretch all the way down. Oh, goodness, and come all the way back up to 0. Stretch all the way down. Come back up to 0. Last one, all the way down. Up to 0, all the way down, and back up to 0. Okay, great. I've got to move this out of the way so I don't crack my hand on it. So that was the side bends. And I got two more. Where'd my cookie thing go? All right, I don't know where it went. Okay. The next one is a twist. It is where you can either keep your hands up out of the way. So what I want you to do is twist side to side, where the goal is to get your leading shoulder to 90 degrees. So your leading shoulder is perpendicular with your hips, which are straight in the chair. So your shoulder and your hips are making a T. That's the ultimate goal. To get there, if you're standing, you can swing your arms, but don't let your arms lead. Lead with your waist. It's an abdominal exercise. Lead with your waist, and your arms come along for the ride. Or fold your hands up across your chest here, and then turn side to side. So again, we're at the end of our chair to make it a little easier so you don't get a lot of friction out of this chair. And we're just turning side to side as far as you can. Okay? And again, if your arms are hanging, you can swing them across. So you have both hands on one side, and then both hands are on the other side, and both hands on one side, and both hands on the other. Just for giggles, you're standing. I can show you that real quick. If you're standing with this, okay, so I'm going to leave my head out of the picture so you can see here. So if you're standing, your feet are staying stable, shoulder width, and you're turning. So again, I'm turning, my arm is coming along for the ride. I'm turning to the right, I'm turning to the left. And again, get that lead shoulder all the way out. Good, June, you're getting there. Okay, that lead shoulder goes all the way to the front and all the way. So, and then you can build up some speed and get your arms kind of like a scarecrow. They're just flowing in the wind. All right. And this version of it is a Qigong exercise. It's called ringing the body bell, because as I'm turning, this hand is hitting my spleen. This hand is hitting my right kidney. And when I come back the other way, this hand is hitting my liver, and this hand is hitting my left kidney. So you're gently tapping your organs as you're doing this. Okay, so that's, again, the seated version is a derivation of that. But again, it's just to get you stretching. Okay, I know a lot of people are stuck sitting. Being stuck sitting isn't fun. So I hope you kind of get some motion and get some movement. That's a good thing. So again, if you're in your chair, you want to keep your hands up out of the way. Turn to the right, turn to the left. We talk about how much for these kind of exercises. It's better to time them rather to count them. So maybe set on your phone. You got a little stopwatch thingy on your phone, or you got an egg timer or something. Set it to 2 or 3 minutes and just do them. So that way you're not worried about counting. How many did I do? How many did I do? You just do them until the bell rings, and then and then stop. And then you keep adding more and more. So you can go maybe a minute 1 week, and then the next week add another minute, and then get up to 5 minutes. So then, and then you get a nice switch. And the thing that really is important with these is the more you can get that twist, you start to, it becomes an exercise or a massage of your kidneys. And your kidney energy is very important in life. Okay, I'm not going to go into that, how and why, but it is, right? Believe me. So as you're turning and doing these twisting, you're doing a lot for your kidneys with that twist. So let's just do a few more of these. We're going to go to one side, the other, and you can do them as slow and stretch as you want, or quick, and just get the counts out. And again, I'm not counting because I don't count when I do this. I just do them until, like I said, I use a timer, so I do them until the bell rings. Okay, 3 more. Left, right, left, right, left, and right. Okay. All right, shake it out, as my teacher used to say. Okay, questions with the twist? Anybody? We all good? Thumbs up? Excellent. Okay. One more. I think one more sit-ups. Ooh, sit-ups. I like the sit-ups. Okay, sit-up ones. You may want to move back in the chair a little bit. So it's simply, we're going to lean forward as far as we can in the chair. If you have glasses on, be careful they don't fall off your head. And then we're going to sit back up. Okay, so if you have a back on your chair, great. If you and also if you need to use the sides of your chair or put your hands on your knees to push yourself back up if you need to. Again, everybody's got different levels of fitness here and different levels of how the FSH affects us. So again, just lean forward as far as you can, and then sit back up to straight. Okay, now standing, if you will, if you allow me to show you the standing version of this, just because I want to give people the benefit of you're able to do this, great. So again, this becomes a whole different exercise if you're standing, because what we're going to do is, and you do or don't have to use your hands. I know when I put my hands on my kidneys, so your palms are fingers facing down, and then you just lean forward, and you want to lean forward as far as you can, all right, and then come back up to the top. Okay, so that's the standing version of it. Okay, and then if you have the ability and you have the strength, you can put your arms in, because now when you stand up, you're lifting your arms too. Here, your arms aren't in play. If you lean down with your arms hanging dangling, now you've got to come back up and pick your arms up. And then if you can get away with that, then try using wrist weights. Okay, so it works the stomach on the way up, and it stretches your lower back on the way down. So all the way down. Try to keep your legs straight. Don't bend your knees on the standing version, and then come straight back up. Okay, and then to add the last bit of that, and I'll jump back to June. If you want to stay standing there for a minute. Okay, you sat, never mind. Okay, so the seated version of that, the last part of that, which if you recall, or if you were here last time, so when you come back, so we're going to exhale on the way down. So inhale, exhale on the way down, and inhale, and completely empty, when you're down there. Inhale on the way back. Now, when you get back to center, stop breathing, stop inhaling, and just stretch back a little bit. You can either lean back or just kick your shoulders back to get a little stretch, a little arch in your back. Okay? And then come back up to center, and now exhale and start on the way down. So you don't want to do any breathing when you're leaning back. Right? You want to be, lungs will be full at that point. So roll the way down, empty your lungs completely, as much exhaling as you can, and then start inhaling and come back up to center. Again, diaphragm breathing, if you know what that is. And then when you get to 12, when you get to center, stop inhaling, stretch back, come back up to center, and then start on the way down, exhaling again. All right, so inhale on the way up. When you get to center, stop, lean back, and then come back up to center and exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. When you get to center, lean back, and then come back to center, and then exhale on the way down. Okay, do a few more. You guys look good. This is exciting. I'm getting. Okay, so again with these, use your hands if you need to. Okay, if you have weights, you can do it with your, grab your collar and do it with weights if you want to add a little extra resistance going down and up. However like I said, experiment, because what I'm showing you is my version of it. If you need to modify it a little bit to make it work for you, like I said, Use the arms of your chair if you need to push yourself back up. Put your hands on your knees and push yourself up that way if you need to push yourself up. But the important part is moving. That's the important part. For a lot of people, moving is difficult. So some moving is better than no moving. Okay, let's do a few more. So inhale, lean forward, exhale. Empty completely. Inhale on the way up. And you get to 12, stop inhaling, stretch back. Come back up to center. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Stop at the top, lean back, stretch. Back to 0. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Lean back. And come back to 0 and don't do anything, just exhale. And then take a big inhale. Call a cleansing breath. And exhale. Okay, so those are the abdominal exercises. Lost my little movie thing. All right, well, no big deal. Okay, questions on the abdominal exercises? All right, so the last thing I'll talk about is breathing. We did, in September, we did a good portion of those sessions were wrapped around breathing. I feel that breathing is a very, very, very important thing. And to just quickly rehash what I said a couple of, or the last time, is prioritizing breathing in the things your body needs to survive. I list food, water, air, and shelter as probably the top 4 things that you need to survive. You could probably add some more. And if we prioritize those, you can last about 2 to 3 weeks without food. You can last about 2 or 3 days without water. You could last hours if you forget your coat and go out in the cold. You're not going to last too long without shelter, but you're only going to last about 2 minutes without air. So air is like the top thing that we need to survive. And breathing is the one of the few things that we do. We either do it automatically, or our body will do it for us, or we can control it. And the fact that we can control it lends itself into these different breathing exercises that we're able to do. So what I reviewed the last time was called diaphragm breathing, or belly breathing, or abdominal breathing. You use your diaphragm, and if you go back to the video on the blog there that June put in this really cool animated thing that shows you where your diaphragm. So your diaphragm is under your lungs and above everything else, and it's a big muscle that helps you breathe. But when we were born, we were diaphragm breathers, and as we got older, we became chest breathers. And as you get older and older and older, you start to become even a throat breather. Your breathing gets very light. You're breathing in your throat more than you are using your lungs. So we want to stay out of the throat. We want to stay in the diaphragm, okay? Because the next thing after throat breathing is no breathing, okay? So the breathing is here. We want to keep it down here, all right? So just bear that in mind. So the idea is when you inhale, it's the opposite of chest breathing. When you inhale, you push your stomach out and try to literally fill your torso. I use the analogy of a balloon. When you fill a balloon with air, the top doesn't fill, the bottom doesn't fill, the sides doesn't fill. It all fills at the same time. And you want to breathe that like that. You want to fill your torso that way. One of my peers calls it directional breathing or 6-way breathing, where you breathe you expand up and down, side to side, front to back, right? So, and then when you exhale, you pull your abdominals in, pull up on your diaphragm, and you exhale that way. So you're breathing in, everything's filling and pushing out. And when you exhale, everything's getting sucked back in again, right? So the beauty of this, on top of the breathing, is that the expanding and contracting of your torso is massaging all of your organs, right? So you get a benefit of a great internal massage on top of getting really oxygenated because of the amount of air. The things that this does, it'll get you a lot more oxygen. It'll help you increase your lung capacity, all right? And for people that are concerned, like I said earlier, my neurologist was concerned that the FSH was affecting my diaphragm, and I'm not breathing efficiently anymore. So don't tell Frank that, because I went crazy with these breathing exercises. So be mindful of that. They are difficult because they are not what you've been doing for however old you are, minus a year probably, or 6 months. So you've been automatically been chest breathing most of your life. So it takes a while to get the breathing figured out, to get it to where it's kind of a natural thing. Because I can switch from one to the other pretty easily because I've been doing it for so long. But for other people, it's like, oh, I can't do this. So don't get frustrated, because again, these exercises are supposed to be relaxing. So if you're getting frustrated and excited and pissed off because you can't do it, then just walk away and come back another day. That's the best thing to do. Don't try to force it. The other thing I mentioned was the Dantian. Dantian is a term that we use for where your qi lives. So your qi is your body, your energy that makes your body move, energy, your life energy. And the whole process of Qigong and where your qi lives is in your Dantian, which is just below your navel. Okay, so that's where you want to focus your breathing. When you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling, a lot of the exercises that we'll do is you visualize that Dantian filling and compressing with energy. Okay, so let's try to do some diaphragm breathing. All right, so you want to, this is where we get into sitting, right? I got to teach you how to sit first. Okay, so we're sitting again, end of the chair, feet flat on the floor. Your hands are palm on palm in your lap. Gentle gaze forward. Your tongue is at the back of your roof of your mouth, back of your front teeth. Breathe in and out through your nose only. No mouth breathing. And that's very important for two reasons. One, your nose is a filter, right? When you breathe through your nose, a lot of great things happen to the air before it ever gets down into your lungs. If you breathe through your mouth, everything's getting through unfiltered. And it also, breathing in and out through your nose is regulating the airflow. So if you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, you're inhaling and exhaling at two different rates. So we want to keep that as regular as possible. Okay, so anyway, sit and inhale through your nose and push your diaphragm down and push your stomach out. Fill your torso with air. So we're going to count to 5 on the inhale. Now exhale, pull your diaphragm up, pull your abdominals up, squeeze your butt cheeks. That's the easiest way I could say it. You want to squeeze everything up and exhale. Now inhale, everything opens up. Exhale, pull everything in. Let me just move back a little so you can see my hands. Sorry, my chair's on a rug, and the rug and the chair are not cooperating. Okay, that's better. Okay, inhale, push out. Exhale, pull up. Move your hands with me so you get your body moves with your hands. Inhale, push down. Exhale, push up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Compress, squeeze everything tight. And open up. Feel your torso. Exhale. I want it when you're inhaling so much, you're going to feel some tension because you're not used to that. It might even hurt a little. So don't be distracted with that. Just don't breathe in so hard right away. All right? So inhale. And we're going to exhale. So I'm going to kind of push through this because we're running out of time here. Visualizing. I mentioned the Dantian. So when you inhale, if you want to visualize what your ball of chi looks like, I just gave you the clue. Mine looks like a ball. And I expand the ball visually or visualize it in my Dantian, in my abdomen. As I'm inhaling, that ball is expanding. That's why you see me moving my hands. And as I exhale, I'm compressing the ball. So I go to a basketball or a beach ball down to a golf ball or a softball, depending on how you want to do that. So I inhale, everything expands. I'm drawing energy up through my legs from the ground, and I'm filling my chi, my Dantian with chi. And then I'm squeezing that chi ball into a nice, tight, little warm ball in the Dantian. Okay. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in, expand. Breathe out, compress. Expand and compress. So something else, if you're going to practice these, I inhale to a count of 5 and then exhale to a count of 5. If you can't get to 5, then maybe you want to do a count to 3. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-second count. Get to 3. If you can get to 3, then work on getting to 4, work on getting to 5. As you're doing that, you're increasing your capacity, which is what you want to do. So we're going to inhale, visualize the chi ball. Inhale, the ball gets bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, compress everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Any questions so far? June, are we good for a couple more minutes? Okay. I'll tie a, so if you go back to, again, if you go back to the video in September, there's about a dozen exercises that I do. Breathing stays constant. It's just doing other things with your hands and visualizing and stuff. You may want to reference that. One more that I'll do for you, and then we'll finish up. This one I like to do because it ties the breathing in with some coordination exercises. So again, I'm trying to get it so you can see more of me than my handsome face, but okay. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to start with our hands at our sides. Just push the chair out of the way. We're going to start with our hands at our sides, and as we inhale, we're going to raise our left hand up to our armpit. And as we exhale, we're going to lower our left hand and raise our right hand to our armpit. Okay? So starting from 0, we're going to inhale, left hand up. Exhale, left hand down, right hand up. Inhale, left hand up, right hand down. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Exhale. So the root of this is the breathing, but we just add the hands in and some motion just to distract us from the breathing and give us the ability to focus on something else other than the diaphragm. But don't move away from the breathing. The breathing is the important part here. The hands are just for fun. Okay? If you don't want to do that, hands into your lap and just tongue at the back of your teeth. Breathe in and out through your nose. This is the calmest way to do it. Visualize your chi ball expanding and contracting in your dantian. Okay? And that's diaphragm breathing. I urge you, if you are have the desire to do it, persevere and do the breathing. Do it every day. Do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you want. It definitely helps with everything. It helps with everything. Like I said, it's the key to if you ever pursued any kind of other Qigong, it's the key element in most stuff that we do. So we talked about today, we did neck and shoulder exercises. We did the ab routine. I taught you how to sit. You don't have to thank me now. We did a lot of breathing, okay? And I urge you to practice the breathing. I suggest if you're interested to go back to that other video where we do a lot more visualization exercises. I kind of pushed through it today because it was a review. I wanted to spend the time on the neck exercises. And lastly, we'll do this again in 2 weeks. Like June mentioned, because of Thanksgiving holiday in the United States, we will be doing this on a Monday. And actually, I will be traveling the rest of the week, so Monday was the only day I could do it. So thank you, June, for accommodating me. So it's November the 21st, noontime Eastern. If you can, I suggest you do these exercises and practice, 30 minutes a day if you can. Do a little in the morning, a little in the evening. Again, they're exercises you can do wherever you want. If you have any other questions, you think of something, you run into trouble, shoot me an email. The email is on the website, the FSHD website. I'll send out handouts. If you need a handout, please type your email address in the chat. And I thank you all for attending. And June, back to you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Frank. I get so much out of this, and I hope everybody else did as well. I was going to say, I can never remember questions when I'm put on the spot. So as you're doing these exercises and trying them out at home on your own, I'd suggest jotting down any questions that come up so that next time when we meet, you'll have them at hand. And I'm sure if you have the questions, other people will have the same kind of questions. So you'll be helping out everybody by kind of thinking, being engaged and thinking about, the questions that come up for you and sharing them. All right. Great. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you on Monday, November 21st. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, June. Bye, everyone.
Bye.